Hi, this is Rusty Dog, and welcome aboard the Bark of Merlin. Well, I've spent the last 3 days, not constantly of course, but a few hours each day, acquiring classified scan databanks at a very horrendously slow rate. Now then, this was because I hadn't twigged on to the definitive way to do it. I'm going to show you that definitive way. Now, admittedly, there are a couple of videos out there on YouTube already that show you how to do this, but not every single detail is explained, so I'm going to hopefully cover that. So, this is basically for if you want to unlock Ram-Tah, the engineer Ram-Tah, who requires 50 classified scan databanks. So that means you're going to be scanning quite a few ships. Now then, I don't know why I'm in the inventory. So in the engineers then, we come down and we will see Ram-Tah, there he is. And I already submitted 20 of them because I already had them in my databanks. I guess through just normal gameplay I must have amassed those. So I only needed 30 more, in other words 10 ships. Well, it took me around 3 days play, say a couple of hours every day, whatever, to find 3 more ships, which is this has been the worst grind ever. If you don't know what you're doing, this is the worst grind ever. I haven't come across anything more of a grind than this. But I found out a bit later how to get this done. And so I'm going to... I've got rid of a load of those decoded emission datas. I dumped a load of those. They're easy to come by. Yeah, I got rid of a load of those. No, never mind. Okay, so classified scan databanks. As you can see here, I've built up enough to unlock Ram-Tah on its own, but I wanted a few spare. I only need to give them 30 more. But if you look, it will tell you that it's collected during basic scans, frequently pulled from haulage vessels. Now, what are we classing as haulage vessels here? Well, typically you would be thinking haulers, hence the name, type 6s, type 7s, type 9s. I can say that it's not quite as clear-cut as this. Firstly, you can get classified scan databanks off Pythons. And if you go to the right place, which I'm going to show you, you can get them off Sidewinders and probably other types of ships, apart from the standard transport vessels. Thus far, I've had nothing from haulers, type 7s. I've had results from type 6s and type 9s. I may have had a type 7, but if I have, I certainly don't recall it. And I may have had results from haulers in this method I'm going to let you know. But in general gameplay, don't even bother scanning them. So, scanning transport vessels then. Where can you go for that? Well, under normal circumstances, it would be a good idea to go into a boom system, because it's likely there's a lot of exports going on there, lots of transportation going around, and therefore seeing transportation vessels. So you can do what I did, which is wait outside stations and scan the transport vessels coming in and out. Forget that, because they you might get one every half an hour. Resource extraction sites, you can scan the vessels in there. They're few and far between. I think I managed to get one in there, and that was from a Python. Nav beacons, I probably got one in there as well. And of course, scanning ships in supercruise, in boom systems, maybe even expansion systems. Doing it that way will get you there, but as I've said, it is a slow process, really slow. So this is how to do it. Forget logic, forget the boom systems, forget the expansion systems. You need to be going to retreat systems. So this is one of them, and what we need to do is map them out. Not retreat, did I say retreat? Sorry. Outbreak systems. This is where we need to be. And set your minimum population slider up to somewhere around here, and you'll start seeing a few. There's another one. And you want to be going into ones that have got planets with atmospheres, which is probably going to be all of them. And we did go to another one round here, but I ended up not getting any results from it really, and I had to come to a different place, which was this one, As Garage, which is, if you're from Yorkshire, it means my garage. Okay, so in we go. Now obviously I don't need any more classified scan databanks, but for the purpose of the video I will be showing you how to do this. So here we go. Okay, now if you don't have the place mapped, then map it. I've already done the old D-scan, so I don't need to do the map then. We can see 1, 2, 3, and I know this one is atmospheric as well. Atmosphere type carbon dioxide. Yep, another one there, another one there, another one there, another one there. All these atmospheric planets. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to happen 100% of the time, and if it doesn't, I don't know whether that's a bug or not, but what you need to do now is go to a planet that has an atmosphere. You can see here, maybe. Are they shown? Ah, yes, they're already shown. Okay, so you're looking for these convoy beacons. Okay. Now, I've had a couple of occasions where I've gone into a convoy beacon and it's been empty. And even, but this was, I think this was on another system, and even maybe here as well, if memory recalls. It's not every time you're going to jump into one and it's going to be populated. In which case, you have to do the naughty and do some game mode swapping or instance swapping. And just do that. Now, the instance swapping in this case, you're not really using it in an exploitative kind of way. All you're doing is saving a bit of time. Because if you jump into a convoy beacon and it's empty, the way to create a new instance will be to jump out into Supercruise, turn around, face the convoy beacon, and jump back in again. So all the all the instance switching does is speed that process up and gives you a new instance quicker. That's all. So the one I was in, I'm sure they're all going to yield just as good results, but the one I was in was hanging around A5, which was this one. So I'm going to head towards A5. I'm sure the other Convoy beacon's just as good, but I'm going to go into this one and see if we get any results. Now the other method, of course, as well as all those other slow methods, is convoy dispersal patterns, which you also find in boom systems and outbreak systems. And in convoy dispersal patterns you will also find transportation ships or haulage vessels, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, but the problem is, right, I'm going to slow this down a second. The problem is this, right? Every ship you scan isn't going to give you back some data. In fact, it's quite infrequent that you get data back, really. But the thing is, you're narrowed down to transport vessels. So you can't. It's useless to scan every ship. It's pointless scanning clippers and eagles and whatnot. So when you do find a transport vessel, you scan it, and then, you know, most times you're not going to get any data back. The times that you do get data back, the chance of you getting a classified scan databank is, again, very infrequent. So it becomes a real chore. And the only way around it are these convoy beacons, because they are a host to many transport ships all in one go. And you just scan every damn ship in here, no matter what it is. Sidewinder, hauler, adder, T6, T7, T9, it doesn't matter. You scan the lot. Everything. And once you get into one that's populated, don't leave until you've got the amount you want. I'm going to repeat that. Once you get into a convoy beacon that's populated, do not leave. At least I wouldn't. I don't even know if when I jump in now it's going to be populated, but if it is, I'm hanging around. And not every time you instance swap is going to repopulate the system either, or repopulate the beacon. It doesn't follow that that's going to happen. Okay, and here we are. Check all this out. Now you'll see them all whizzing along, but don't worry, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. There's probably about 20 of them, but they're going nowhere. You'll just see them move along a bit, and then they'll just stay where they are. Now, my next tip. Do not just randomly scan these ships. Like, oh, there's one, let's target it and scan. Oh, there's one, let's target it and scan. You'll be here for ages. Use your next ship and previous ship bindings. I've got mine bound to the top hat key on my joystick. So I flick it up and it's over there. And I'm going to follow it. Even if it's out the way, I'm going to follow it. And I'm going to scan that one. And that way I'll be able to cycle through all of them. I got nothing from that. You can expect this. A lot of ships are going to yield you nothing. Okay, I just flicked on next ship and it's this one. So we're going to scan this. Nothing. Next ship. They will come. I scanned a Type 9 a short while ago and I got 2 classified scan databanks from it, which means you end up with 6. Getting three on every one, obviously. Okay, so I'm just going next ship, next ship. It doesn't matter where they are. As you can see, they've all stopped now. It doesn't matter if it's on the top of the radar, at the bottom of this. And there I've got something back finally, but it's not what I want. If you don't want to fill up your data banks, then you can take a note of that and then go in and just get rid of 3 so your capacity is not filling up. Next ship. And we just keep going. You see how infrequent they are even here? But don't worry. If I'd known this method from the start, I probably could have got all 50 within an hour. Instead of this being the, well, yesterday was the 4th day. But I'm just relaying all this back to you so you don't have to go through the I don't know what to call it. I'm not going to call it stress or boredom, but the tedium, there you go. The tedium of going through it the long way around, which is what I was doing. I'd never heard of these Convoy beacons before. And so far we haven't got any classified scan databanks, but they will come. Untypical shields. Is untypical a word? Is it? Shouldn't it be not non-typical? I don't know. Anyway, it's not really important. So yeah, there's about 20 ships or so here, I think. Bright payday. Is it? Well, okay, give me a load of classifieds then. But this is the way to do it. This is the best way to get these. Believe me. I've been through the wars. Now, we've scanned everything and there's nothing here. Now, I could simply super cruise out and turn around and jump back in again. But it would be a lot quicker for me to just task switch. In fact, it will be quicker, but not by much, to be honest. So let's pop. I haven't had any. I don't think I've had any come in solo play. I'm sure they must though. But yeah, maybe it's just coincidence that every time I've gone into solo play, there's been nothing there. Now, oh, and they have reappeared. Sometimes they don't, and then you just keep instant swapping again. So let's pick the first ship and let's keep repeating the process. And you'll see them all come in again. It looks very cool, especially from the external camera view. But they're not going anywhere, so you can take your time. You can take your time. You're going to get a lot of distorted shield cycle recordings, a lot of what's that one beginning with I? Inconsistent shield soak analysis. That's it. You're going to get lots of those. So you can remember to remove those if you don't want them. Yeah, those decoded ones that the other engineer needs. I should have realised that. However, what I will say is that the 3 days I spent doing it the long way was not all wasted. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Because while I was in the res sites, I was firing on ships, I was scanning other ships, I was picking up materials from ships that other people had destroyed, and I've been picking up all of the materials that I need to, like in bulk, lots of them, in order so that when I unlock Ram-Tah, I can start going through the process of getting up to grade 5 and also have many rolls of the dice at grade 5. So I've been collecting a lot of stuff that I need. Salvaged alloys, I think it is, phase alloys. Let's have a look. So I've been picking up lots of conductive ceramics I know I need, so if I can pick up more of those. So every time I've dropped into a USS that's degraded, encoded, or high grade, I'm picking up these things. Conductive ceramics, you'll find them in degraded, I think. And then you've got things like core dynamics components, which I don't need for this particular exercise, but you can find those in high grade. Let's have a look what else there was. Manganese I'm going to need some of, but I can pick that up on the planet's surface, no problem. Phase alloys, I got 40 of those. Now here we go. Proto light alloys. I've got 21 of those. I need a bit more of those. Proto radiolic alloys. These are the ones I'm going to be collecting next. I could do with some more of these, to be honest, but you'll find these. It says salvage from signal sources. you will find them in high grade system sources. System sources? Yeah, USSs. High grade signal sources. But it does say on here during economic boom. Well, I've been scanning going into high grade while I've been here in Outbreak. But in boom systems, you'll pick up those. And again, protoradiolic alloys. Again, in signal sources in economic boom. But again, these are restricted to, I believe, high grade signal sources, not encoded. Now, in encoded, you'll sometimes find personal or private data beacons, which you can scan, and you can get some decent data from that as well. But I've never had any classified scan databanks from them. So you can get your cracked industrial firmwares, all your different types of firmwares you can get from encoded USSs. Anyway, let's carry on scanning for these classified scan databanks, because we haven't even bloody found one yet. There's your inconsistent shield soak analysis. Have to remember to delete some of these. Oh, what you can do as well is, before you delete them, you can say, okay, inconsistent shield soak analysis. There's one. I've got 15 now. Frequently pulled from haulage vessels, as we just done. But then you can go to inara.cz, going to components, and click on inconsistent shield soak analysis, and it'll tell you what engineered add-ons need those. And then you can decide whether somewhere down the line you're going to want to upgrade that particular item, and then you'll know whether to keep them or not. But some of them, let's say for example this one, you might go into Inara and pick on components and go to inconsistent shield soak, and it'll say used on upgrading the power distributor, but it will only be up to grade 3. You know, some of them might be grade 4, grade 5, grade 1, but at least you'll know what they're used for and for what grade. And then you can make a decision whether you want to keep stacking these up or whatever. But right now we're just concentrated on classified scan databanks. Obviously I've got plenty now, but I did want to have some spare just in case they were used for any other reason. I didn't even bother to look on Inara to find that out. Is that them all? It is, and we didn't even get one. Okay, so let's come back out again, and I will go back into. In fact, let's go into solo play this time, and let's see if we can make these guys appear. I think when they don't appear, that is a bug. It has been reported, and I've also added to that thread. And there we go. I think it's the case that they're not appearing in solo. And don't wait for them to appear, because they won't. So okay, let's so yeah, I believe solo play might be the one that's messed up here. And maybe this is why the devs can't reproduce this issue. Some people are saying it gets populated, some people are saying it isn't, and I believe the difference is the mode they're in. It seems to be. And now of course we don't get it. Oh, here we go. Took a couple of seconds. Alright, so let's try and scan some more. I have to say, I've never come here and scanned all 20 ships. At least I think it's 20, whatever. There you go, classified scan databanks and peculiar shield frequency data. I've never gone through and scanned them all and not had at least one classified scan databank until that time I just did it right now. But we got one there anyway, which gives us 3. We might even get another one before we're done here. And T9s give you more than 1 on occasion, and on occasion they'll give you sweet nothing. Depending how they're feeling on the day, I suppose. This does seem like a long drawn out process, even doing this. But believe me, this is nothing compared to the alternative of scanning ships in Super Cruise and stuff like that. Believe me, this is the best way. And so we'll just go through another few, I think. And also, like, if you're piling up stuff here that you don't need, make sure you do get rid of it. Because the last thing you want to do is have a full capacity. And then when you scan a ship that would have given you Classified Scan Databanks, it says that you're full. I don't even need that many. I could delete some of these. I don't need 54. It's ridiculous. Because I'm going to trade in 30 of them, so I'll have 24 left. So I think that's plenty enough. What else keeps coming in here? Where are these? Yeah, these. Inconsistent shield stock. I'm always getting a few of those, so let's get rid of a few of those. And yeah, just make sure that you're not getting too filled up, because the last thing you want is to, find that you've scanned a ship that could have given you one, a classified scan databank, and you were full, and you can't scan it again. Anomalous. I just remember the first word, anomalous, anomalous, anomalous. And that will remind me to remove those 3 later on. So, anomalous. So we've only had one in 3 instances. We've only had the one inconsistent. So anomalous and inconsistent. Wow, even haulers work here, but doing it the long way round. When you're doing it in Super Cruise, or in when you're searching for transport ships in Super Cruise, or in HAS-reses, high-reses, whatever, nav beacons, forget scanning haulers and sidewinders. You're just not going to get anything. But here in Convoy beacons you will. Okay, so anomalous, it was this one. And inconsistent. I'll probably find I'm going to need these at some point. Okay, so out we go. And we're going to switch back into open. I'm swapping between private group and open. You can, of course, you don't have to swap. You can come out of whatever mode you're in and go back into that same game mode. No reason why you can't do that. Now, you could consider this a cheat, instant swapping, but it's just the same for me to... It's not really cheating, because the other way to have the same effect is to, like I said, is to super cruise out, get, just outside of a megameter away, and turn round, and then come back and fly back in again. Same thing. All you're doing is saving yourself a little bit of time. And I'm just going to repeat this tip here about having your next ship and previous ship mapped. Don't be doing this. Don't be going to contacts and then coming down to the next one and the next one. Don't be coming to the contacts. Have next ship and previous ship mapped to 2 buttons. Me, I've got it on my joystick on the top, so my thumb is on that button, and I push it up on the hat key. I push it up to get next ship, and I push it down to get previous ship. But of course I don't need to do that. I just need to keep going next ship, next ship, next ship. And then once I get to a ship I've already scanned, I know I've done them all. Oh, I thought we were going to get one there from a T9. Unidentified scan archives. So the last, let's say 12 that I got, I was getting better results than this. I was getting 1 or 2 classified scan databanks per instance. We've only had the one so far. So I'm going to stay with this until we get at least 1 or 2 more. They're all refugees. But thank Braben for Convoy beacons. If these didn't exist, I can guarantee that, well, I can't guarantee, but for me, classified scan databanks would have been the biggest grind I've ever done. In other words, how much grind versus how much results you get. I mean, trading's a grind, exploration's a grind, but you're constantly getting results all the time. Where doing this the long way, you're not. You know, this guy's out on his own over here. What's he got to hide? Nothing. Got another T9 here. There's nowhere else you're going to come across this many transport ships in one area. Nowhere. Another unidentified scan archive. They are infrequent, but yeah, there you go. Now I know we've been through them all. So if we look at the classified scan databanks, you'll see that they're not very rare and they're not rare either. They're just, I don't know what you call that, grade. Yeah, they're grade 3. I don't know what that makes them. I know 1, that's very common. That's common. 4 is rare, and 5 is very rare. 3, what would that be? Just normal. But they're not really. So let's come out again. Let's just have another pop into solo, just to try and confirm this theory of mine that the ships don't appear in solo, which is a very strange thing. I've never seen something different in solo than in open. And yet there it is, apart from obviously commanders. But you know what I mean. Core gameplay. I've never seen it different, but there you go. I will let Frontier know after this video that the reason they probably cannot reproduce the error is because they're doing it in either a private group or in open play. But if they did it in solo, they might find that that they're not going to get any ships appearing. So in we go again, and here they come. Let's see if we can get an external of this one. There they go. I should have maybe positioned my thing a bit better, but look at this. Oh, it looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, they just come in and then they just kind of hang around. So let's go next ship. That takes us all the way down here. And of course there's no threats here. There's nobody going to fire at you. Although I wouldn't advise firing at these guys. Especially seeing as how they're clean ships. And I don't even know if they'll all turn on you. I don't even want to find that out. Oh, there's a wing there. I'm not sure if I've ever seen. I haven't noticed. I haven't been paying attention, to be honest, but I've never seen a wing here. Okay. At least I don't have any recollection of seeing a wing here. Well, I have to say, the frequency of the classified scan databanks coming out is a lot slower than it was for me yesterday. Because I was on 21, I think I had, and I just needed to get to 30. And I got there really quickly. It took me about half an hour, I think, and I got all of them. And I just carried on. As you can see, I went up to 51 I think it was. But I don't need any more. But once I'd got the 30 that I needed, I carried on and I thought, you know what, now that I'm here, I'm just going to gather some more, just in case I need them for anything else. If I go to inara.cz and find out that classified scan databanks are not used in any mod upgrade, then I'm going to get rid of all of them, because I'll no longer need them. But anyway, like I said, my 3 days doing it the long way was kind of well spent, because I did spend time going into USS's that I knew wouldn't have classified scan databanks, but they would have the materials required for me to go up to grade 5 with Ram-Tah. And the purpose of all of this is to have enough plenty rolls of the dice on grade 5 lightweight heat sinks. That's it. That's what I want. Because I've got 2 heat sinks on the Anaconda that I built, which is currently 62.8 light years. And I'm hoping that putting those 2 on will take it over 63. So for basically what might turn out to be half a light year, I can't believe I haven't got any. I've spent all these days on that. But the Anaconda is not the only ship that I've got heat sinks on. I've got them on, I think I've got them on this Corvette. I've certainly got them on other ships, and I've certainly got them on my Exploration Asp. And so I'm going to want to be getting a lot of rolls of the dice in order to get lightweight heat sinks. Yeah, I've got some on here, look. In order to get lightweight heat sinks on pretty much every ship I own. And so I have spent time gathering all that stuff, and it's been well worth it. And when I'm done here, I'm going to be going after proto-radiolic alloys. In other words, going to a boom system and dropping into every high-grade emissions signal source that I can find. They're not always going to yield proto-radiolics. Sometimes it's proto-heat radiators, proto-light alloys. Well, I'll tell you what, man, these classified scan databanks are being a bit elusive today. I should have taken the video yesterday. Whoops. I should have taken the video yesterday when I was doing this. Because the rate they were popping up, I was so pleased. I thought, oh my God, my days of searching are over. Not the famous distorted shield cycled recordings. Oh my God. Well, regardless of the fact that they're not popping up that often, believe me, this is the best way. There's no quicker way to get hold of them. I have traded blood, sweat and tears to find this information. I could. I mean, obviously, I found out at a later stage, but still, before I did find the information out, it really cost me. If it had all been a waste of time, the 3 days, that knowing, oh, I could have done it a faster way, and damn, you know, I would have been a bit annoyed. But knowing that during those 3 days I had, well, I say 3 days, it makes it sound forever, a couple of hours each day. But during that time, you know, I gathered so many other materials that I need for later on down the road. And so I'm happy about that, because that saved me doing it all later on, you see. I've managed to cram all that in. Oh, come on! Unbelievable. Yesterday I couldn't jump into an instance without scanning a classified scan data bank. And now I can't get away from them. I mean, I can't. No, they can't get. I can't find them. Right, where's these bloody recordings? We know these are going to come up. There's 9 of them gone. What was the other ones? Are we getting something down here as well? Yeah, get rid of these. 20, was it on 27, wasn't it? So it needs to be a divisor of 3. So we can do that. 9, go to 12. Let's go more. There was probably other stuff popping up. I just want to leave myself a little bit of space. Yeah, this as well. Get rid of 9 of these. These are quite popular, so I'm not bothered about getting rid of those. Okay, so let's try again. Wow. I want to get 2 more at least, so I can get up to 60. And then I can end the video. So, I don't know if I was in open or private there, but it doesn't matter. We'll just jump back into one of the 2. And we'll have a look at Emerald Chorus here. Come on, Emerald. Ah, don't crash into me. Thankfully, they do all miss you. They don't hit you. Oh, the sound of them going past is pretty cool. Luminous bounty, eh? Well, not for me, it wasn't. Yeah, if you don't go next ship, and you just target and scan, you won't know where you are, because there'll be some ships further back on your previous and next that you haven't scanned. There'll be some further forward. There'll be some that you have. You'll be thinking, have I scanned this one? Have I done that one? Oh yeah, I've done that guy. Oh, I've scanned that one as well, and that one. Oh, I haven't scanned that one. So you scan it. Oh, and then it's just not worth it. Just do it this way. Next ship. Not next hostile. Yes, we got one! Whoa! Okay, we keep scanning and see if we get another one. Sometimes I think that the game is going, he's got one. Let's make him wait ages for the next one. But it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you just get another one. You can scan a ship, get one, and then the next ship you'll get another one. That can happen. Inconsistent. I'll have to get rid of that one. Mind you, don't forget, I am going to be getting rid of 30 classified scan databanks very soon. So I don't need to be too rigorous getting rid of the stuff that I don't think that I might need yet. But the decoded data you'll get from degraded emissions, I think they come from. Yeah, and there's plenty of those USSs, as you know. So yeah, every time in case you're new and you don't know what USSs are, basically when you're in Super Cruise, you'll get a message on the screen saying discovered unidentified signal source, and then you just target it, and it might say degraded emissions or such like, and encoded emissions, whatnot. So yeah, degraded is where you'll find the decoded ones. So anomalous and inconsistent, they seem to be popping up on a regular basis. Let's get rid of those before I forget. Okay, let's keep that one. But these distorted, no, not this one. Inconsistent, these. That's 18, so let's get rid of 6 of those, just to keep them in check. And now we will switch from private group. We can go back into private group. I can go into a different private group, or I can go into open play. Solo play seems to be no ships. And I don't think the other videos that tell you how to do this tell you that. In fact, I don't even know if they tell you to instance swap or come out and go back in again. Come out of the beacon and go back in. But I think you find these convoy beacons around planets with atmosphere. I don't think you find them around landables and stuff like that. I don't think so. And if you jump into don't want to say it wrong again. Hold on. Outbreak, yeah. If you jump into an outbreak system and you don't see convoy beacons, try approaching atmospheric planets, particularly high metal contents, I suppose. But if they're not there, then I would do an instance swap and see if they appear, because I have had it where they don't appear, but they will eventually show up. But they should show up straight away. Mine did in this system. So maybe you want to just come to this system. But you need to. In fact, it's not even confirmed that high population is the way to go here. I'm not convinced that if you go to an outbreak system that's got no population, there we go, that there wouldn't still be convoy beacons. I don't know whether population does play a part. There we go, we got 2 more now. So I'm going to finish scanning everything in here. So you see, I scanned a ship, I got one. I scanned the next ship, I got another one. So I'm just going to finish off here for no particular reason other than for completeness. Oops, I skipped a ship there, don't want to do that. And whatever I get now, I'm just going to leave. Because what I'm going to be collecting now is materials, not data. So I think I've given you enough details here to unlock Ram-Tah if you haven't done already. So I'm going to claim this as the definitive guide to classified scan databanks. I think I've probably given you every detail here that I know, that I've gathered. At least in terms of where not to go, where not to bother. What is the long way, that's still doable, but man. And then finally finding out that this is the right way to do it, or the quickest way to do it. Okay, that's that. So we're done. And like I said, if you don't want to instance swap, if you're one of those people that are against instance swapping, then just super cruise out, turn round, jump back in, and you've got your new instance. So now I am on my way to a boom system to get some proto-radiolic alloys. And so in the meantime, have a good day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.